Today, I'll take you through some essential top tips to help you sound more like a native English speaker. If you've ever had a very frustrating experience where you felt like you were clearly speaking, but the native speakers couldn't really understand you, then this video is for you. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name's Sayaka and I'm a Harvard graduate ballerina turned entrepreneur, and this video has been a highly requested video as many of you on my channel are interested in learning languages. Now, some people might think that sounding like a native English speaker is quite hard to pull off. But actually, if you follow a couple of simple rules, then it becomes a lot easier. So today in this video, I'll go over 3 main points, which will be word choice, intonation and rhythm, and finally, how to practice so that you can sound like a native speaker. Just a quick note, I will not be covering pronunciation in this video because it's such a long topic, but do let me know in the comments down below if you want me to make a separate video just on that. Alright, let's go. Now, before we begin, there are so many different types of English. There is British English, American English, Australian English, there's Singaporean English, right? And as you may have noticed by now, I lean more towards American English as opposed to British English, and that is because of my background studying at an international school and also later at Harvard. So obviously this video will be geared more towards American English as opposed to British English. I can't do British English except for, would you like a cup of tea? That's all I can say in British English. So we're gearing more towards American English today. Alright, that being said, if you are still worried that you'll never sound like a true native speaker, I just want to emphasize that that's completely okay. In fact, I personally think that accents are beautiful because they show your unique cultural background. So when I say in this video how to sound like a native speaker, I don't mean to erase your accent and all of a sudden try to sound like an American or British person. Instead, our goal here in this video is rather to be able to speak in a more natural, clear, and concise way so that your thoughts and beliefs can be understood by as many people as possible around the globe. I personally learned this the hard way because while English is my first language, I often found myself in countries where people didn't really speak English at all when I traveled and lived in so many different countries for ballet. So over time, I had to learn to speak in a way so that I could be understood universally. And this is what I'm going to teach you today. So first of all, we have word choices. There are certain words and phrases that you can choose to sound more like a native speaker. For example, coming from Japan, I know a lot of people who simply say, "That's very good, that's okay." In the States, we don't really say that. We say, "That's awesome, that's great, that's incredible." It's slightly exaggerated, but that's just how they speak. And by using these words like awesome, incredible, that's great, that's awesome, you sound more like a native speaker rather than just saying, "Okay, very good, good." You know what I mean? Another example is, I better get going instead of "I should go." The standard thing is to say "you're welcome," but try saying "no worries." That makes you sound more like a native speaker. "I can't come to your party." "I can't make it to your party." "Okay." "Fair enough." "How are you?" "How's it going?" "What's up?" This is just the way native speakers speak. So if you want to sound more like a native speaker, it really helps to use these kind of phrases rather than just simply saying the traditional textbook sentences. The second point is intonation and rhythm. This is a really fun topic. So intonation and rhythm in language are exactly like the melody and beat in music. Just as in music, they add depth and also nuance to communication. So for example, the sentence, "It is what it is." It's like, "It is what it is." Do you see what I mean? It's kind of like music. It also helps to just like hum this whole thing. It is what it is. So you can say the same thing with different phrases like, John wants to be an actor. Da, 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 da. You know what I mean? Another example is, I'm gonna go shopping. I'm not a voice actress, so forgive me if I'm doing it wrong, but think of it a little bit like a musical score. Like each sentence has its own tempo, right? It has its own unique flow. For example, when you say, I haven't seen him in ages. This has a more slow and also more like drawn out rhythm than compared to, let's grab a bite to eat. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Let's grab a bite to eat. This has a more upbeat pace. You get my point. So, try to learn languages like music because this will not only enhance your understanding, but also it will enrich your ability to express yourself with authenticity and also flair. This way, it helps you sound more natural. I'm going to give you an example now, and I want you to read it out loud. This would be, he's always running late. He's always running late. Alright, now you're probably wondering, what now? What are the next steps? How can I actually put this to practice so that I can perfect my English and just sound more like a native speaker? I'll show you how. First of all, as I just said, listen to native speakers in movies, TV shows, podcasts, videos. Pay close attention to their pronunciation, intonation, rhythm, and also even their slang and idioms, their word choices, right? And try to mimic their speech patterns as closely as possible. And repeat phrases and sentences over and over again until you feel comfortable with the natural flow and also rhythm. This technique helps train your ear to recognize natural speech patterns and also improve your ability to produce them yourself later. Another way is tongue twisters. You can also use tongue twisters because they're sort of like tongue gymnastics. They help your mouth get better at saying tricky sounds, and practicing them can make your pronunciation smoother by training your tongue and lips to move more precisely. Not to mention they're also a lot of fun. So I'm gonna try to do one myself now. I don't think I can, but I'll try. How much wood chuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Yes! That's a tricky one, but I got it. There's another one, which I can't do this one. It's so difficult. She sells seashells on the seashore. The shell seashells are surely seashells, so if she sells shells on the seashore, I'm sure she sells shores. I'm going to blame this on the fact that in the last couple of days, I got a new tooth in my mouth, like right back there, and this is affecting my fluency and also my articulation skills, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Alright, the third thing is practice, practice, practice. It is really, really important that you practice than to think about how to practice. So, no matter in which ways, you should always practice English every day as a part of your daily routine if your goal is to sound like a native speaker. So, the more you practice speaking like a native speaker, the more likely you will be able to have a conversation in English. So, practice in front of the mirror, practice with your phone, practice with your friends, practice with, language partners, try reading things out loud, memorize famous speeches, right? When you do all this, record yourself so you can listen to see whether you sound really like a native speaker and where you need a little more help. And the more you do this, the more spontaneous you'll be able to speak because you memorize phrases and also because you learn to think quickly on your feet. These are all the ways that will help you sound more like a native speaker. Alright, you guys, thank you so much for today. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching until the end. I hope that this video was helpful and that it would help you guys sound more like a native speaker and be understood by as many people as possible around the globe. Let me know down in the comments below if you want me to make a separate video dedicated just to pronunciation. And if you're interested in improving your English even more, check out this video over here where I give you a specific to-do action for 30 days in order to improve your English dramatically. I will see you in that next video. Bye!